Hi guys, I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be a pretty exciting one. It is probably the biggest giveaway I've ever done, although it could be rivaled by the previous Makeup Revolution giveaway I did. I'm not sure, but this one is pretty huge. I think you'll be excited. But this is a follow-up to the Freedom video that I did last month. So if you watched that video, you will know every single month I'm going to come at you with some kind of Tan Beauty product video. So Tan Beauty is basically the umbrella under which Makeup Revolution, I Heart Beauty and Freedom sit, and they are kind of a family of brands. Now, whether or not extra brands are added to that family in the future, I don't know yet. It will be exciting to see, but right now they are the three brands that I'm going to be discussing with you once a month in these kind of videos. So this is a sponsored video, it will say add in the title, and this is why it is paid promotion, but I'm going to be giving you a kind of overview of the best sellers of Makeup Revolution at this current moment, and there's going to be a giveaway of everything in this video. I'm going to link below to a blog post that I want you to go to enter the giveaway. All you need to do is leave a comment with your favourite Makeup Revolution product, either that you've used or that you would like to use. The winner of the Freedom giveaway will be up on the screen right now. If I haven't contacted you already, I will be contacting you shortly to let you know how to give me your information to pass on to Freedom to send out your prize. So congratulations, and I'm going to get into all these products now. I would say that if you had to pick one product, Makeup Revolution is synonymous with palettes, and specifically eyeshadow palettes. So I'm going to stick with those first of all. Some of these products I already have blog posts on, so I'll link them below if I have, but I'm going to be posting swatches as we go through the video. I was going to swatch them as we went, but one, I'm wearing a white jumper, and two, this video would be 45 minutes long if we did that. So I'm just going to kind of put up some pictures as we go along of some swatches. And like I say, if I've got any specific reviews or anything that I can link to, I will. Or if I find any particularly good reviews from anyone else, I might link to those as well. So the first one was new to me. I swatched this yesterday and I absolutely love it. It is the I Heart Makeup Chocolate Vice palette. I love these so much. They look like melted chocolate bars on the top. And this one is black. Slightly more kind of peachy shades and different to the previous ones, but still wearable, still not kind of crazy for me, because I'm not all about the super colourful eyeshadow. I barely wear eyeshadow at all, but when I do, I like it to be kind of flattering. The second one is the Fortune Favours the Brave palette. This has been all over everywhere. I did do a specific video on this. This is the palette that they created in collaboration with Jane from British Beauty Blogger, or really Jane created the palette in collaboration with them. She picked all the finishes, all the shades, everything, and was very hands-on in the process. I have used this so much. This is not my original is actually cracked because I dropped it on the floor and then I stood on it. So my original's got a cracked mirror, which is not great, but this is a new version. I love what she did. It's a great selection of colours. I think that there's pretty much something for everyone here. And if you are a little bit like me, a bit shy of colours and too much colour on the eyes, there's just some options here, but you don't feel like it's a waste if you don't use them because there's so much more to choose from. I really, really like that palette. This one is one that I potentially I'm not so much into, and this is the Unicorns Are Real. I did blog about this. I really, really like these. These are like highlight shades. I would potentially use these on my cheeks. They're kind of like pastel-y coloured. And then there's some very bold colours here, and then some neutrals. Again, if you kind of took those out, it doesn't look like that crazy. And if you did want a palette in your collection with some bold pops of colour, you've got it, and it's inexpensive. So that was the Unicorns Are Real. Next we have the Ultra Eyeshadows 32 Ultra Professional Eyeshadows palette in Flawless 2. And here we are back to the kind of more neutrals. I'm really liking this. I know that this was a trend last year because it was the colour of the year. What was that? Oh my goodness. I forget what the actual name of it was. It'll probably come back to me once I've stopped filming. Oh man. No, it's gone. That was kind of the colour of the year in 2015, if I remember rightly, this kind of shade range. And so I've seen it in quite a few of the Makeup Revolution palettes, and I really like that colour. It's more flattering than you might think on a lot of different skin tones, but very, very neutral, and again, a really nice selection of colours. The next palettes I've got are cheek palettes. They're pretty much all blush/face palettes. And those of you that have been following me for a long time or watching my videos for quite a while will remember I was a massive fan of the Golden Sugar palette. I use that all the time. I don't like a tremendous amount of colour. I'm kind of just experimenting with more pinks and just trying with a light hand to try a little bit more colour on my cheeks because, I don't know, it gets a bit boring to just use the same things all the time. But the Golden Sugar palette was my favourite because it wasn't too out there. And I'm gutted because I just dropped this before I started filming. There is now a golden sugar too. I'm not going to lift it up too much because, like I say, I dropped it and I've broken this one, which would 100% be my favourite one. This, I'm sure, is similar, if not the same, to one that was in the original. But all beautiful, kind of slightly shimmery. This is more of one of those sheeny finishes rather than a shimmer or a glitter. And then you've got some real very, very glittery baked shades in there, almost matte. In fact, those two on the end are matte. It's just a really, really lovely mix of finishes that's not too bold. And if you're a little bit nervous of colour again, I think that's a really, really nice one. And gorgeous for summer because it's got that kind of like golden tones to it. It goes really nice with the tan. Then there is a cream blush palette in Blush Melts, this one's called. The Iconic Lights and Contour Pro, and this is a powder contour. Then there's these more kind of frosty blushes in the Blush Queen palette. These are kind of more that shimmery blush. And another one that stands out to me, Blush Goddess, which again, matte. I love matte blushes. Matte with not too massive a shade range, but again, really wearable colours. And then these are all more highlights. So you've got the option of wearing a matte blush just as a matte blush, or you could wear it with a little bit of a sheen on top, or you could use these highlights separately. I like that you could mix and match these, and they're also, some of them kind of correspond and go really nicely together. I've got one last face palette, and it's called Beyond Radiance. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like, was the original one just called the Radiance palette? Because this is not the same palette that I remember. I thought when I first opened this, oh god, I used to be obsessed with this. Before I found my Freedom, is it called Ambient, the highlight that I love? The Pro Highlight, I think it's called Ambient, or maybe Diffused, I always forget. But before I found that, this was my go-to highlight. I loved this palette so much, but I don't think this is it. And I think this is actually better. The other one had a more bronzy colour on this side, and there were two more shimmery shades and one that was more of a diffused, sheeny face powder, whereas all three of these now seem like very, very finely milled, sheeny face powders. This is a bit of a game changer because I'm a bit obsessed with the ones that I've tried from Freedom and Revolution, but an entire palette of them. Watch this space, because this was something that I thought I knew what it was, and now I'm swatching it, I'm like, ooh, this could be better than I expected. Moving on from the palettes, there is an entire amazing brush collection that you can now buy, an entire kind of set of tools. If you're starting out or you're wanting to add to your collection, this might be really, really nice, and again, really affordable way to build on your toolkit. I have a couple more cheap products. There's these two Ultra Strobe Balms. Is this sealed or can I just not open the packaging? No, I'm just really, really weak. I've definitely blogged about these ones. And they are basically cream highlights. They've got that kind of like slight iridescence to them. This one's called Hypnotic and this one's Euphoria. Euphoria's got that slightly iridescent blue pink to it, and this one's more of a golden sheen. And then I've got some shimmer bricks. This one is Radiant and this one is Rose Gold. Again, these could be used as eyeshadows individually. You could slightly more pick these out depending on what colours that you wanted with a blush brush, or you can swirl them all together and they're kind of both going to give you that I know I say sheeny a lot, but that is kind of what it is. A shimmery, golden or bronze, depending on which one you chose, cheek look. Have a couple of prep and prime steps before we get to the super exciting category of lips. First of all, there is this dual phase makeup remover. I suppose this is not prime, but it's kind of more the skincare side of it. So it's two separate products, if you can see that there, and then you shake it up. And it mixes it all together and it becomes just one kind of blue liquid. And this is really, really good if you've got waterproof or particularly stubborn eye makeup, or those really, really dry lip products. You know, like a very, very dry liquid lip, or like a matte lipstick. I've got some lipsticks that they're not even supposed to be long wearing, but they're so matte and so dry, which I tend to like, but you know, it's not great for my lips because it doesn't dry them out, but they are so stubborn to get off, and this works really, really well. Have a bottle of that already. Then these are more base products. One of them is the Ultra Strobe Cream, and this just gives you, again, a nice sheen. It just gives you a nice sheen to the skin. You could mix it with your foundation or use it on its own, or you can even use it as a bit more of a subtle highlight when you're wearing a little bit less makeup. In the summertime especially, I like to wear just a little bit of tinted moisturiser, and I'll put a little bit of glowy something like liquid bronzer or something, and that would work really well like that. And then there's the Pro Base Blur Primer, and this is also illuminating. I love this packaging, all kind of polka dotty. And that has got a little bit of radiance to it as well. Lastly, there is the Solid Brush Cleanser, and I was totally turned on to this through the Freedom one, and they're very, very similar. I think the Freedom one's slightly larger in size, so it's slightly more expensive, but they basically do pretty much the same thing. And I like this because I use it to actually swirl my brush in. I can't find a brush to hand, but I kind of swirl my brush around in it, and then I can rinse it, and it's like something to do it against. I like a solid cleanser. For a long time I would use what's it called, like baby shampoo or whatever, and I felt like I was using loads of it, and my brushes never felt 100% clean. They never felt clean of shampoo. They were clean, but they weren't rinsed. And this gives just the right amount of product, I find, when I'm washing my brushes, to use a solid cleanser. It's a dog like really loudly barking in the distance. I don't know if you can hear that, but only when I start to film do these things happen. Next, we have some liquid lipsticks. Liquid lipsticks, as I've said, I'm a big fan of matte lips, but they're not always necessarily what you want. If you've got particularly dry lips on that day, they're not going to look that great, and they're not for everyone. Not everyone likes the texture of a matte lipstick, especially those kind of real paper thin long wearing ones. So I'm not surprised that Makeup Revolution's version of these, which are not that kind of drying matte texture at all, are on their bestsellers list. They've got the Euphoria. Oh, I've mixed that up. They've got the Euphoria, which is, I would say this is kind of like a high intensity, almost opaque liquid lipstick. It's a really, it's not sticky, it's just a really comfortable kind of heavy lip gloss with a real high pigmentation. And there's several shades of these. They will be coming up on the screen because I know I already have swatches of these ones for you. And then there's the lip amplification. Now I kind of expected these, from the names, I expected them to be the other way around. From lip amplification, I thought they were going to be the high intensity, high lacquer glosses, but they're not. They're the other way around, which is strange, but they are. These are more like a silicone-y, a little bit like the Bourjois kind of texture, a kind of more silicone-y, silky texture to the lips. Not quite as opaque, although you can build both of them up to opaque if you want to, but I'm talking first swipe. These are a little bit more sheer, and they have a different shade range. For example, in this selection, the amplification ones, they've got a super cool grey, which I'm really excited to try. Not sure whether or not it's going to be suitable for the school run, but maybe I'll try it anyway. Trend-setting parent, I don't know. This one is Limitless, and then they've got this one, which is, I don't think this is quite black, it's just a very dark red purple, and it's in Conviction. Like I say, all the swatches will be going up on the screen. So two products that seem like they might be the same, and even from the swatches at first glance you could be forgiven for thinking they were the same formula, but they're very different. One is definitely more of a high pigmented gloss, and the other is more of a silicone-y liquid lipstick. But either way, both really comfortable and non-drying. I have saved the best till last with these rose gold lipsticks. As far as I'm aware, that is the name of them, rose gold lipsticks. I mean, rose gold is such a massive trend right now, so I'm not surprised that they did this, but it is just a rose gold bullet. It's pretty cool. And then on the end you've got your little marker, which is always a nice thing to have, because when you have as many lipsticks as I have, it's nice to not have to open every single one to figure out what it is. I actually am wearing one of these today. I'm wearing this one, which is called Red Carpet, and I really like the texture of it. I kind of couldn't decide what the formula was, and I'm not sure if they're all the same, but this definitely leans towards more of a matte texture than it does towards a cream. But it's kind of more of that modern matte where it's not drying at all, but it feels like it sets, which is my favourite. So that's Red Carpet. Then there is Girl's Best Friend, which is this kind of like Barbie pink. There is, what is this one called? Private Members Club, which again is that more like vampy, almost black colour. Chauffeur. Rose gold obviously means posh. Chauffeur, now this one had a little bit of an accident because I quickly tried to put the lid on earlier and didn't work quite so well. But this is kind of one of those like taupey nudes. I really like that. And finally, Diamond Life, I think this one's called. Diamond Life. When I swatched them, this was the one that actually really surprised me. Looks very dark in the bullet, but it's much more plummy, and it's much lighter than it looks when you actually swatch it. I really, really like that one. So one of you lucky lot is going to win every single one of those products that I've mentioned. Don't forget to go and enter via the link that I am leaving below, and check out all of the different things that I've linked below with like reviews and where to buy and all that stuff as well. But thank you for watching. I will see you guys in my next video and next month for another one of these and the winner of the giveaway. Bye!